In the dark underbelly of Detroit, where the city has witnessed its fair share of chaos and danger, the stories of Clifford Thomas and Jasmine Gordon emerge as a grim testament to the harsh realities of life. Unbeknownst to a 3-year-old named Jamila, her seemingly ordinary moments with her mother and her boyfriend would take a tragic turn, leading to a courtroom drama filled with justice, vengeance, and a grieving father's fury. It all began with the distressing case of 3-year-old Jamila. Instead of enjoying a normal childhood with her mother, Jasmine, and her boyfriend, Clifford, Jamila found herself rushed to the hospital with severe injuries, abrasions, bleeding, pneumonia, and even a torn pancreas, all indicative of child abuse. Unfortunately, Jamila did not survive, leading to legal proceedings against both Jasmine and Thomas for the harm inflicted upon her. The haunting image of the nightmare that Jamila endured while in the care of these two defendants unfolded in court. Jasmine faced a sentence of 14 to 25 years for child abuse and an additional 6 to 15 years for involuntary manslaughter. Meanwhile, Thomas received a 5 to 15-year sentence for involuntary manslaughter. However, the repercussions did not end there. The court bore witness to an act of vengeance when Jamila's biological father, Dwayne Smith, physically confronted Clifford Thomas, delivering a forceful blow to his head for the harm inflicted on his baby girl. Child murder becomes even more unsettling when committed by a parent, as illustrated in the disturbing case of Quinn Bowes. This tragic event unfolded in Pacoda, Indiana, where Quinn, the father of an 11-week-old infant named Parker, was implicated in the untimely death of his own child. Quinn was apprehended in connection with his son's murder, and initially claimed that Parker's demise resulted from an accidental fall from his crib. However, this explanation was promptly dismissed by authorities, revealing a much darker truth. Parker had suffered fatal blunt force trauma to the head, indicating a deliberate act of homicide. The distressing sequence of events commenced when the lifeless body of baby Parker triggered an investigation leading to Quinn's arrest. Initially, Quinn tried to portray the infant's death as a tragic accident, asserting that Parker had fallen from his crib. This narrative, however, failed to withstand scrutiny from law enforcement and forensic analysis. Authorities, unwilling to accept Quinn's account without question, delved further into the circumstances surrounding Parker's death. As the investigation unfolded, a grim reality emerged. Parker's fatal injuries were inconsistent with a simple accidental fall. Forensic experts determined that the infant's death resulted from blunt force trauma to the head, raising serious suspicions about the nature of the incident. The term homicide cast a dark shadow over the case, signifying a heinous act perpetrated within the supposed safety of a familial relationship. Quinn's arrest marked the initiation of a legal process seeking justice for Parker and holding the perpetrator accountable. Court proceedings depicted a parent who had betrayed the fundamental responsibilities of parental care and protection. The severity of the charges against Quinn became evident as the court addressed the intentional and violent circumstances surrounding Parker's death. During the trial, the prosecution dismantled Quinn's initial narrative, presenting evidence that pointed towards a deliberate act of harm rather than an unfortunate accident. The revelation that Parker had suffered blunt force trauma raised disturbing questions about the motivations behind such a heinous act, particularly when committed by a parent, a figure traditionally associated with nurturing and safeguarding. The courtroom transformed into a somber setting as the details of Parker's tragic fate were unveiled. The gravity of the situation weighed heavily on those present, highlighting the devastating impact of familial betrayal. Quinn's arrest not only symbolized the pursuit of justice for Parker, but also triggered a broader societal reflection on the profound responsibilities that come with parenthood. In the aftermath of this gruesome incident, Pacoda, Indiana, confronted the stark reality that individuals entrusted with a child's well-being could, at times, become perpetrators of unspeakable acts. Quinn Bowes' case serves as a chilling reminder that the sanctity of the parent-child relationship can be shattered, leaving a community in mourning and a justice system tasked with delivering accountability for an unthinkable crime. Quinn faced the consequences of his heinous act, receiving a 20-year prison sentence and an additional 5 years of probation through a plea agreement for a Level 2 felony charge instead of Level 4. The courtroom drama took an unexpected turn as Quinn, being escorted out, became the target of an attack by none other than Parker's uncle, Jeremiah Hartley. In a shocking twist, the law intervened, sentencing Hartley to 100 years of probation on charges of battery. This harrowing narrative echoes the theme of familial vengeance seen in cases like Jerome Boggs in Whitesburg, Kentucky. Jerome's descent into violence started with a drug deal at Timothy Cook's house, culminating in the tragic deaths of Cook and his 4-year-old son, TJ. Jerome and his wife faced severe charges, with the judge expressing utter disdain, proclaiming that Jerome deserved the death penalty. Sentenced to 2 consecutive life terms and 70 years, Jerome's wife received 10 years and was released on good behavior. In a surprising act of retaliation, Jerome became the target of an attack in court, not just by 1 or 2, but by 3 members of Cook's family. This unsettling incident reflects the intense emotions and potential for revenge that can engulf families in the wake of such heinous crimes. These cases illuminate the darker side of familial relationships, demonstrating the profound impact of violent acts within the family unit. Our next perpetrator, Deshaun Brown, is not responsible for the demise of just 1 but 2 victims, adding another chilling murder of a child to our narrative. The grim incident unfolded in Hamilton County, Cincinnati. Picture this. A security guard stumbles upon a body bag, prompting an immediate call to 911. The lifeless body inside is identified as Natisha Lattimore, and tragically, her 3-year-old son, Nilo, has also met a gruesome fate, although his body remains undiscovered. The alleged killer is Natisha's boyfriend, Deshaun Brown, who is accused of stabbing Natisha and callously disposing of Nilo's body by wheeling him into a river. In a disturbing twist, the stroller containing Nilo's remains is found after Natisha's body. Deshaun's actions reveal not only his capacity for murder, but also a diabolical level of planning, as he opts to transport Nilo's body in an Uber, deceiving others by claiming the bag contains clothes. Amidst this chaos, a hero emerges in the form of Antoine Hughes, the biological father of Nilo. During Brown's trial, Antoine attacks him in court, delivering a forceful punch. Despite this act of retaliation, Brown remains unable to evade the consequences, awaiting trial for the death penalty. The narrative takes a dark turn, drawing parallels to crimes just as heinous, such as the case of Larry Nassar, a former U.S. gymnastics team doctor turned violent sex offender. Nassar faced numerous complaints of sexual assault from athletes, totaling 265 victims. The accusations culminated in indictments on multiple state charges of sexual assault of a child in 2016. One poignant moment in Nassar's trial involves the father of 3 victims, who, overwhelmed with rage, requests a mere 1 minute alone with Nassar in a locked room during the sentencing. The judge denies the request, leading the father to unleash his fury on Nassar in the courtroom. The judge, acknowledging the father's right to be vengeful, excuses him without punishment. Nassar, having pleaded guilty in 2017 to criminal sexual conduct, received a substantial sentence, 60 years in federal prison and 10 to 175 years in Michigan State Prison. The judge emphatically states that Nassar does not deserve to step outside the confines of a prison ever again. These chilling tales delve into the depths of human darkness, where the pursuit of justice intertwines with the raw emotions of those affected. As we unravel these narratives, we invite you to explore more gripping stories on our channel. Subscribe now to stay updated on the latest tales of crime, punishment, and the relentless pursuit of truth. Join us as we navigate the murky waters of human nature, one story at a time.